of sci-fi.
Wow, that's really interesting. I think everybody. I wish I could have seen. I'm not quite old enough to have seen Star Wars in theater, the original
Oh,
ones anyway.
yeah, yeah.
Well, have you ever been starstruck by anybody you met on set, or?
Not on set per se, but I mean, I have had moments where I've been moderating an actors panel, right, at a certain convention. I've been doing that as a side thing where I offer my service as a celebrity moderator of Q&As.
That's a pretty cool side gig.
Yeah, so I was at the very first convention that Sigourney Weaver ever attended. So
Oh,
it was an aliens reunion. We had everybody except for the Sergeant Apone, the one African American
sure.
platoon leader, but everybody else was there from Aliens, and including the late Bill Paxton,
Oh,
who I had a chance to meet before he passed, thank God. But I was definitely a little fanboying over Sigourney Weaver because I introduced each group of two. They came out two by two. Paul Reiser was there.
oh, that's so cool.
So everybody, Lance Henriksen, all the Marines, Vasquez, all those guys.
Vasquez.
Yeah, love Vasquez. Vasquez, her real name is Jeanette Goldstein, so she has no Latina blood at all. They actually
What?
put darker coloring on her to make her look Latina. She's no longer acting anymore. She owns a chain of brawl stores now, of all things. It's
Hey.
so bizarre. Yeah. So Sigourney came out at last, and I'm sitting probably 12 inches away from her, and it was so surreal to see or to be that close to someone I've been following their career and been a fan of. And I remember just kind of looking down, and she was crossing her legs, and I thought I could touch Sigourney Weaver's ankle right now. But that would be so creepy. I would probably be kicked off the stage. I don't want to do that.
Was she super cool or what?
Yeah. She was great. She was really nice. And after the Q&A was done, Bill Paxton walks up to me and he goes, "Hey man, that went great. I rented out a restaurant for dinner. I want to invite you to come along with us." I said,
Whoa.
"Sure."
You had to go.
Yeah, I had to go.
Or did you say, "Game over, man, game over"?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're not invited anymore." Okay, so you're on Star Trek. We actually did a little research right before you came in, and we found sort of a dubious honor. That you had the opportunity to see Code of Honor, arguably.
Oh no.
Tell us about it. Yeah, tell us about Code of Honor.
I just joke about how that was like the first TNG episode I ever saw. When I knew that TNG was coming on the air, I was excited. I'm a sci-fi fan, and I was at UCLA at the time. I didn't see the pilot episode, so I turned it on during season 1, and I have a hair that it's in my mouth right now.
That's what you get for being an
I think
alien.
someone who wore this before me has
It's good protein.
alien hair.
Good protein.
Yummy. So where was I? So I was UCLA, and I'm forgetting my train of thought. What was your question again, please?
Code of Honor.
Code of
We were
Honor,
asking about Code of Honor.
So I watched Code of Honor. It's the first episode I see, season 1, and I thought it was absolutely horrible. I thought the writing was bad, and it was Tasha Yar on this planet and fighting against the alien, and it was not good. And then I turned it off, and I thought, all right, I'll give it a shot later. And maybe 6 months later, I turned on Next Gen, and it was a rerun of Code of Honor. I gave it another shot a year and a half later, and it was another rerun of Code of Honor. So 3 times I tried to watch Next Gen, and I see the episode, which a lot of the producers and writers of Star Trek agree that this is one of the more weaker episodes for Next Gen. So,
That's a very kind way of saying the worst episode ever.
ever. No, I'm sure there's worse than that. I actually watched Code of Honor again recently, and it's actually not that bad. I'm like, okay, I was much more critical when I was younger. But I think that that happened for a reason. Because
Sure.
if I had seen any other episode, I would have been a huge Next Gen fan, which would have adversely affected my audition for Star Trek Voyager, because I would have been so, oh my God, it's the show that's replacing Next Gen, which I love. So since I only saw the one poopy episode, it helped me get the role of Ensign Kim. So it happened for a reason. Yeah.
All right, I think we've got one more question for you before I think somebody's going to take you away,
Okay.
which is a terrifying way to say so. We're going to show you other stuff. But, so you filmed all these scenes in Voyager. What do you think is the hardest or most challenging scene you had to film, and why was it so challenging?
Oh my gosh. We were filming an episode called The Shoot, and in that episode, Paris and Kim are trapped in an alien prison ship. We were subjected to, all this chemical smoke they were pumping in there. There was dirt, dust particles. I would say probably 3/4 of the crew and all the cast developed bronchitis while they were filming that episode. Yeah, I tripped on these metal stairs and I ended up opening up a gash on my knee. So it was blood, sweat, tears, and bronchitis is what that episode was. Yeah, that's the hardest one.
Blood, sweat, tears, bronchitis, the killer quadruple.
The killer quadruple.
Killer quad. Okay, so I think somebody is taking you away.
Okay, all
so
right.
a tractor beam is taking you to a really cool art museum that we have in
Nice.
Sansar. We might come with you.
Nice.
Does everybody want to go to this art museum?
Yeah.
Everybody is
Sure.
silently agreeing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Garrett, you're going to be
Well,
taken care of over
Who's
there.
in this room right now, though? Who are all the other people here?
Oh.
I mean, are these people that are just at their remote location using their VR software and headgear? Is that
That's
right?
right. Yeah, we've got somebody from
Fellow
Singapore.
Sansarians.
We've got Israel,
Canadian.
Canada.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go around the room here. So the guy in the red. Oh, sorry. The guy in the red. Yeah, that's that. Okay, who's
This
that?
is Greg. I'm standing
That's
next
that's
to you.
Greg.
Oh,
Okay.
hey, Greg.
Okay, Greg, who's next to you with the purple hair there?
Carmel, I'm from the UK, London,
Oh,
UK.
Carmel from the UK. Okay, and
Nice to
who's
meet you.
who's nice to meet you? Then there's a Tinkerbell kind of looking character. Who's that?
Nick.
Nick.
Oh, hi Nick. Where are you from?
I'm from eastern U.S., Massachusetts.
Nice. Okay. And we have two other people. One in all black and a red bandana. Where are you from?
Paula.
I don't know if
That's-
Paula has a voice, but she says hello, which
okay.
makes me think
Hi,
she's
Paula.
German.
Okay. Wie geht's, Paula? And then there's another purple hair person in the back there. I don't know who that is.
Narwhal is typing.
Okay, she's typing.
Narwhal's from Singapore.
Is that what that means when you see the 3 dots? That's typing?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's Singapore.
Singapore, cool. And then you on top, standing in the blue dress. Where are you
I'm
from?
from Canada.
Where in Canada?
Toronto.
Oh, Megan over here, my lady. She's from Calgary. She's behind you over there.
Ooh,
So.
very nice.
And we have 2 people sitting on top of the starship. Where are they from?
Cat and ice cream.
Oh, they're typing. Look at that.
Cat's in Houston.
Cat's in Houston, and then the other person is.
Ice cream.
That's their
Cali.
screen
She's
name.
from California.
Ice
yeah.
cream from Cali.
Uh-huh.
Shirtless boy is typing. We don't know where he's from.
Oh, me.
Just Sam, where are you
Yeah.
from?
John.
Where?
Oh, Sam
Balkan.
is Serbian.
Serbia.
Oh, Serbia. Oh, I know how to say kupus, which is
Ooh.
lettuce or cabbage in Serbian.
It's the only word you need in
I-
Serbia.
Well, I had a friend who was Serbian in LA, and I would call her my little kupus, and she would say my little egg roll. So
Very
that was-
nice.
we use food for each other. Yeah. And I know idimo, which means let's go in Serbian. We have a small robot person here, avatar. Who is
Hello.
that? Hi.
Harmonic from Israel.
Nice, Israel. This is what I know in Hebrew. Okay, shmol, yamin, shmol, yamin, shmol. Which is left, right, left,
Left,
right for
right,
the
left, right.
Israeli military. Yes, okay.
Darmstadt.
Yes, and I can say the prayer of the vines, Baruch atah Adonai, that whole
Wow,
thing. So
nice.
yes,
Wow.
yes, I was an honorary
Oh,
Jew when I was in college. I was in a Jewish fraternity, so they called me Wangberg
Oh,
or
were you an
Wangstein. Yeah, no, Sigma Alpha Mu. I was a
Sigma Alpha
Sammy.
Mu, I
So
see.
yeah. So there's ZBT, AE Pi, SAM. So those are the predominantly Jewish fraternities. Yeah. Okay, and then we have someone in a Picard era tunic. Who's
That would be Zoe, Southern California. Nice to meet you,
Nice,
sir.
SoCal. Nice to meet you. Standing on top of the console, wearing a suit jacket. Who is that?
That's Dar.
Oh, Dar.
Nice to
Cool.
meet you in Florida area.
Nice, nice. Okay. I've been to Florida. Thank you. All right, where are we going? We're going to the museum now. Is that everybody? Yeah, that is everybody. Okay. And
All
of course,
right,
Megan is there from Calgary.
All right, Greg, do you want me to drop down a portal and you guys can just go, or do you want to go a different way?
Yeah, we can do a portal.
Okay, let me drop
Wait,
this down.
is Megan in
Portal will
this
be
in the
fine,
lacy outfit?
Megan's in the
No,
list.
Megan's what? She's wearing the.
Yeah, you know,
red
she's looking
t-shirt.
right at me.
Oh, she is. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me drop a portal down here, and then we can all go together.
All right.
All right, we're going to the. Which one did you want to go to,
Hi.
Greg? The whole art museum or just the comic book to movie exhibit?
Or are we going to go to the
Oh.
Roddenberry section, or do we want to go to?
Uh,
No. Yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of people may not know this, but Garrett's actually a huge Star Wars fan.
Ooh,
I
okay.
am. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe let's go to
Yeah.
the Lost Art of Star Wars.
So let's go to Lost
Yeah.
Art of
Let's
Star Wars.
let's go look at that.
All right.
To mix it
Okay.
up.
How do we enter that portal?
Just touch it.
Walk
and-
into it,
You just
you
walk
point
into.
point at the bottom
No.
and you click.
and you click
click.
on the.
Okay. Walk into it,
And
then-
now we're gonna.
Click on the bottom.
Oh, click on the bottom.
You should
I'm
be
trying
able to pull the
click.
trigger in your right hand.
I am doing it.
Yeah, there should be a thing that says like go.
Galileo Sansar portal, and then it'll bring up a thing.
I saw that. Where's my hand? Okay.
Where's my hand?
Did I go?
You're doing really well at this. by
Yeah,
the
you
way.
are.
Yeah.
This is, very surprising.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the little thing. Okay, there it is. Whoa.
There we
Did I go?
Nope.
Did
you're
I do
still
it?
here.
Not yet.
Gosh darn it.
It is a little difficult because
I'm hitting both.
Are you using the trigger
touching the-
on
The
top?
trigger, no. Do you want the top one?
Yeah, the chop trigger.
I'm using the top trigger. Ooh, I just saw my head. That's weird.
Yes.
Oh, hi. Okay.
Yeah, now click it.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, let's all go.
Oh, he's really nice. I'm really sad I was late for this.
Oh, you can still talk to him. We're still hanging out.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, we learned about it the last minute, so I didn't have time to
No,
make an
that's
event
cool.
or anything. All right, everybody, I'm going to go follow him, make sure everybody's okay. You can come with me if you want.
But this is all about Star Wars, so
Nice.
we can go inside and everyone can kind
Okay.
of find us.
Yeah, I'll follow you then. Yeah.
Walk up here,
All right.
or you can teleport if you don't want to.
I'm gonna walk. Megan, are you behind me? You're not. What? Megan's all by herself. How's that possible? You're in the. We just walked up that little. Ooh, I'm dizzy right now.
Yeah, it'll get a little
Yeah, that's why
dizzy.
sometimes teleporting is.
Can someone find Megan?
Where is... Let's find
hear
Megan.
you. Yeah. Where's Megan?
Yeah, I don't see her.
No. So you live in Toronto. Do you go to Fan
do.
Expo? Yeah.
I
You ever
have
go to-
been. I have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you? Oh, I'm assuming you've been. I
I've
just
never been,
realized.
believe it or
No?
not. Yeah, that guy invited me in 1996 to go to his con, and I turned him down. And I don't know, he's held a grudge for 25 years now or whatever. So
Get out.
he won't let me come over there. Yeah, I'm almost gonna just go and set up a table, like a card table, at the entrance to Fan Expo, and just
Yeah, you should
sign
just walk
autographs
up and
there.
down the aisles and
I
wave.
should.
and-
That's what I should do. Make my
Yeah, yeah,
appearance.
yeah. Oh, it's an amazing city. So.
Yeah, no, I've been to Toronto before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My cousins live in Mississauga, so I have
Oh,
some
yeah.
connection there. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Megan, are you here now or no?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Behind
You're
you,
walking.
Galileo.
Oh, there you are. You're walking up.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
Hi.
All right,
No,
we
I have
made-
a question for Megan, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Megan,
Oh.
do you mind?
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Well, I
sure.
was just curious. Are you like a Star Trek fan, or is this horrible that you have to go do all this stuff?
That's a good
No,
question.
like I'm a fan of all sci-fi.
Oh,
so,
okay, good.
Yeah.
So this isn't torture for you then?
Not
Sometimes.
torture, sometimes, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
fair enough.
no. Let me clarify this. This will explain everything to you. Before meeting her for a certain Halloween when she was younger, she dressed up as Seven of Nine. So I would have to say
okay.
she is a fan of.
That's
Trek,
a
at
pretty
least.
big-
Yeah.
Yeah, at least to a point, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, awesome.
Okay. Cool. So do we follow you,
Yeah,
Greg?
if you guys
over
want to
here?
come inside, you can follow the X-wing.
Are you fine? I love it. Oh, nice.
To give Greg a
So
microphone here.
Yeah.
So the idea behind this is
Yeah.
all the art that you see in here, I actually own the physical pieces, but and someday I dream of having like an actual museum in Hollywood. But because I can't afford that, we created this in Sansar so people from all around the world can kind of see this collection. And this room, believe it or not, these are the very first drawings ever done for Star Wars. Like, so before, I'm sure you know Ralph McQuarrie and Joe Johnston did a bunch of the concepts for the show,
Right.
for the movies. This was Kyle Cadwell, who was the very first person when Lucas had his like script all handwritten. He went and said, "I need some spaceships," and
Oh my God.
this is the artist that came up with the concept of the X-wing, and he named it the X-wing and the TIE fighter, and these are like drawings he did on napkins and stuff in the first meeting when they were having lunch, and Lucas was trying to figure out what Star Wars was.
Love that. And you own all these sketches and everything?
I own all these pieces. Yeah.
Is that because an estate sale? Is Mr. Cantwell passed on now? Or?
He's not passed on, but I think, what's crazy right now is I'm calling it the 30-year hitch, even though now some things it's been 40 years, but all the guys that worked on all the things that I love the most,
Yeah.
I think suddenly they're like, well, I could have this, on my shelf still for all these years, or I can like sell it and like get a vacation home in Hawaii or something,
Nice.
So everyone is finally unloading all of this stuff.
Wow. That's awesome.
And these are all original blueprints.
Yeah.
For the next stage. I love these because these were done in England after they had done the concepts in California. And if you look close, some of them say like they call it the X-wing, but it's spelled EX. Like, because like now everyone knows all the details of Star Wars, but back then even the crew themselves, they weren't quite sure.
Yeah.
Like I have blueprints of the Y-wing, and it's spelled WHY.
Why wing? Why not? Okay. I'm in the other room now. Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
so these are all
Okay.
costume designs.
This is awesome.
Original John Mallow sketches, and he, of course, won the Oscar for costumes for Star Wars.
Wow. Look at that. So some are black and white, some are color. This is more
Yeah.
detailed than others.
These are original Joe Johnsons. This is all from Cloud City and from Hoth, different
Yeah.
ideas of ice people, and then original sketches from the Cantina.
Oh, wow. Huh. Look at that.
I call the exhibit the lost art of Star Wars because a
Yeah.
lot of the pieces that I have are things that the reason why I'm able to own them because they didn't make the final cut. So a lot of this stuff back before Star Wars was so huge, Lucas would come in and say, "Oh, I don't like this design." So it would either end up in the garbage and someone would take it, and then years later they'd sell it, or the artists themselves would just kind of slide it in a portfolio because they're like, "I worked 3 days on that. I'm not going to throw it
Yeah.
out." And then
No.
they just kept it in a drawer for 40 years, and then
Oh, totally. That's so cool. Oh, I was already in here. Okay. Yes.
yeah.
Nice. And then, is there a room that I'm missing? Did we see this
Yeah,
one yet?
we can go in this one.
Okay. Oh, I'm right on your head. Ooh.
So there's a bunch of storyboards, and then there's a bunch of interesting stuff because they're making all these new movies, and a lot of times they're going back. So this is a drawing that Joe Johnson had done for Empire Strikes Back when they were going to go to Mustafar to see Darth Vader's castle, and the whole sequence got cut from Empire. But then, 35 years later,
They're gonna use it
They
again.
put it in Rogue One.
Oh, that's awesome.
These are all notes from Phil Tippett when he was doing the stop motion for the AT-ATs.
Yeah.
They were like, and it was all done by hand, so he had to like write all these like super intricate notes.
That's crazy. Did Phil Tippett invent the AT-AT design then? Is that his design?
Joe Johnson actually, and
Joe.
Ralph McQuarrie, but Phil refined it and helped make the actual puppets that were used.
All these names that we're talking about, Johnston, Tippett, these are British individuals or Americans?
No, mostly American.
They're American.
Yeah, the British crew did the sets and a lot of the full-size pieces, but the American crew did, ILM created all the visual effects and all the miniatures and models.
Yep. Sometimes you get disoriented and you get a little dizzy. Is that common for people?
It is. That's why a lot of people like teleport. Like rather than walk up these stairs, you just kind of, launch yourself up there because it doesn't give you motion sickness. One more room we can look at. Whoa.
Oh my God.
This is an interesting piece. This is an original Joe Johnston that he did behind the scenes when they were actually doing the animation on the Tauntauns.
Yeah, the Tauntauns, yeah.
So it just took hours and hours and hours. So he was just bored and did this sketch of the crew
Doing the
actually
animation
doing
for
so.
it. That's
But
brilliant.
what I love about it is these guys were such artists
Yeah.
that even though they were doing thousands of pieces of art, when they were bored, they still did more art.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
know?
Yeah, they love it. It's like Mystery Science Theater for artists. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So this is a room that I like to add these at the end of all the museums. It's almost like the gift shop, but this is kind of showing like the influence of Star Wars. Like after the movie was done, there's still thousands of pieces of art created for toys and for promotional purposes and TV shows. And
oh, yeah.
this room is special to me because I don't know if you remember when you used to come to my house in like the mid '90s. This is the company
Yeah.
I was working on, creating all these sculptures.
All right.
For Lucas.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, that's the Drew Struzan that he did of me for the box art.
Nice. Oh my God.
Cool.
This is insane.
So we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
But
I love that there's a shark with an axe in the room here with us.
yeah. And I don't know. This is one of the things I love about this in Sansar that you couldn't do in a real museum is like you
Yeah.
can pick up the art and then like throw it.
Hold on.
We had to create.
Okay.
Yeah, you use your right hand and you put your hand near it, and if it turns blue, you squeeze the trigger and you can lift it.
It's not doing. Hold on. Cool. Let me try this. So
Yeah,
I
like, get
don't see
close
my
and it turns blue, and then you can lift it.
What?
You flinging things at people.
Yeah, just bounced a Greedo off her head.
I'm trying to. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
You poked me right now.
Did I poke you in the boob?
Just created chaos.
I can't pick it up. I can't pick it up. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I see my hand. Is it only right hand? You can't do left?
Right hand, yeah.
But see,
away
some,
from you.
like I don't see my. I have to be right up on it, right? But now I don't see my hand right now. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Reach forward.
I'm trying to reach forward. It's not doing anything.
Yeah, there. Your hand was like right on it.
It was right on it.
Yeah, is
It's
it
like,
turning
give it
blue?
to me. No. No. It's like it's.
Dancing.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yay.
Oh, that's really lame.
You throw like a girl.
It's a
Early
dude.
Garrett, see if you can dance.
Oh, I
as
see.
well.
I can't. Can I dance?
Yeah, I can hand you stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks
Cool.
for
Thank you so
coming
much.
in here with us. Thanks for
I
talking to
appreciate it.
everybody.
Very exciting.
you.
Yeah, we super appreciate
yeah,
you
get
coming
a
in.
chance over the
Okay.
weekend, come back in. We'll
Nice meeting you
be
all.
here.
Yeah. Great.
Thanks.
Yay.
Have fun, guys.
We have another one coming up at 3, everybody, so keep your eyes on the events calendar, and we'll be meeting another actor from Star Trek.
Yay.
And by 3 o'clock, that's in 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Very cool, down to earth. I like
3
And he's
PST,
fun to talk to.
right?
Yes, that's right.
that. Still want to know about transference into the personality state of his character.
I don't know what that means, Dar.
Research. Just reading. So in
Sounds
the form of
very psychotechnical, but
Well, in psychoanalysis,
Wait,
it's
did anybody
whenever
ask him if he's doing Picard?
you put
No.
different types of
Oh,
characterizations
is
of
he still here?
yourself into
Are you
your,
doing Picard?
like Johnny Depp is a method actor. So
Oh,
a lot
I
of his
see.
characters would be personifications of himself. So
Oh, very interesting.
yeah,
He was in a movie that sounds like Transference.
right. That's why I was
Transcendence or something.
Hello.
Tiger, good to see you,
Hello.
Unicorn.
have a deep
Hello.
understanding of personality states
Hello,
and transference.
Galileo.
Galileo.
I'm sorry, again, sorry for the last minute, but sometimes people just show up at the booth.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I made it for this.
Yeah,
This
same
was cool.
here.
This was really nice.
I have
Yeah.
never been in this museum before.
that's brilliant.
That's
It's
good.
pretty awesome.
It is, yeah, very interesting.
Star Wars Museum is the
I'm just glad that you started streaming because that was when I realized something was going on.
Oh, yeah,
My
yeah.
my phone dinged. Yeah,
Oh, do you have a notification set up?
yeah. I set up for Twitch.
We're going to try to start doing it on YouTube as well, because some people apparently can't handle the Twitch. Apparently.
Oh yeah, so is the Twitch under your account, Galileo, for streaming?
Sansar
It's the
official.
Sansar official account.
Okay, because all right, I followed it yesterday, so
And you said
That's the one.
you are putting the VODs up for this, and the one from yesterday. The VODs.
The what now?
The video on demand, like you guys can watch it later on.
Oh, sure. Actually, you can do it on Twitch, and I might actually export it to YouTube as well. So on Twitch, you can go into our channel page and look at videos, and you can watch anything that we've put up. And
Yeah, because I couldn't find the one from yesterday in there. I went to show my brother. So
let me find it. I'll send you a link. Yeah, here we go. Maybe it had not done finished rendering or something. That's the link to yesterday's video. All right, I'm going to stop
Thanks.
broadcasting. Bye, Twitch.